Now, we all love a cycle lane, don't we? They make us feel a little bit safer when we're on the road. Well, I'm in my home city of Brighton, and I'm going to show you 3 cycle lanes that, in my opinion, are actually quite dangerous. Here I am at my first cycle lane. It's on the A23 at the junction of Preston Drive, and I'm heading north. My initial impressions are positive. The cycle lane is well defined and easily discernible, if a bit faded in places. Although there is the unavoidable presence of a bus stop which you'll need to navigate around. This is a high traffic volume, bustling road, so having a designated cycle lane is a vital necessity for city cyclists like myself. As you move further away from the junction, the cycle lane goes into the footway. It's very narrow at this point, but that is because it is a shared space with pedestrians, so you'll have to take it easy along this section. However, the most concerning aspect is encountered when cyclists are instructed to re-enter the road further along. In my view, this manoeuvre poses a significant safety hazard. The lack of clear indications to motorists about cyclists rejoining the carriageway often results in inadequate space being provided for cyclists. But the real glaring issue is the absence of sufficient warning signs for drivers. Currently, there is only one cycle lane sign, and this is insufficient. Let me just explain what this sign actually means. This sign is used for a cycle lane on the carriageway, demarcated with a solid white line. The solid white line indicates that vehicles must not use this part of the road. It's not a warning sign, it's not an order. Cyclists can choose to use the route or not. So it's really just an information sign. And it's a bit odd because at this location, this is where the cycle lane stops due to a bus stop. A better sign would be this. It tells drivers there's a width flow cycle lane in the road ahead. By enhancing road markings and installing clearer warning signs, this would significantly improve the safety of this cycling route. For the second cycle lane, I'm heading to Hove, specifically the upper drive at the junction of the Old Shoreham Road. I'm on the northbound carriageway cycling up towards the Dyke Road. This area is quite well served with cycle lanes, and as I approach the traffic lights, I'm in a wide, well-marked lane. As you can see, this is another very busy road, so having cycle lanes here is a must. Once the traffic light turns green, I proceed across the Old Shoreham Road and continue along the upper drive until I reach another cycle lane. Everything appears to be going smoothly until you're approximately 50 metres from the junction, and the cycle lane just abruptly terminates. Furthermore, the road narrows at this junction, leaving me unsure what the appropriate course of action should be. In theory, one has the right of way to proceed into the road and continue cycling, but it feels quite unsafe in practice. At this particular spot, the footpath is constructed in a way that is too narrow for both a bike and a car to pass simultaneously. This means you'd have to rely on the goodwill of drivers to stop and allow you to pass. I'm unsure about the recommended course of action for cyclists in this situation. Personally, I find this very unsafe, and I always choose to wait until it is clear to continue. I'm also uncertain about the significance of the transition from a solid white line to a dashed one in the cycle lane. I understand the meaning of a solid line, but despite my online research efforts, I've been unable to find information regarding the significance of the dashed line. I hope someone can provide clarification in the comments. A potentially safer solution would be to incorporate a cycle lane into the traffic island, as has been done here on this road. Onto my third cycle lane, and this one could potentially be the most dangerous of them all. It's situated along the A270, better known as the Lewis Road, and I'm specifically addressing the stretch between Elm Grove and the Upper Lewis Road. The issue with this particular cycle lane isn't primarily related to its signage or design, but rather the alarming fact it is largely ignored by motorists. As I pedal along, I constantly encounter vehicles that force me to detour into the main road to pass them. It seems that the local authority just isn't effectively enforcing its usage. This road is arguably the busiest among all the cycle lanes I've encountered, and the inadequate enforcement of the cycle lane regulations creates a significant sense of risk for cyclists. It's worth noting that this road serves as a vital route for students from the 2 universities located further along, and they regularly use it for cycling. The key to addressing this issue appears to be improved enforcement. On a chance encounter, I spot a traffic warden, but regrettably they simply pass without taking any action. I don't mean to single out this particular individual, as it seems to be more of a cultural issue within the department, where there is a collective belief that keeping this cycle lane clear is unachievable. Now, I appreciate the cycle lane is bordered by a dashed line and not a solid line, so a driver can enter the lane, but only if it's absolutely necessary or unavoidable. If there's no challenge to motorists, they will just use it as an additional car park, and I think that's what's happening here.
So there you have it. Brighton might be known as an eco-friendly city, having the country's only green MP, but as you can see, not all of its cycle lanes are created equal. Now, I've highlighted what, in my opinion, are 3 of the most dangerous in the city. There's probably others, but I've also tried to highlight some positive ways they could be improved. Now, I'm not looking to start some sort of culture war with motorists out there, but I'll be interested to hear about your experiences in your towns and cities in the comments. So please share that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.